people out there for using YouTube, and I just wanted to say thank you for what you're doing.
Brother, we're in this together. I want to thank you for engaging your First Amendment. That's how we defeat the globalists, is we make art, we promote freedom, we promote God, we promote values, we promote basic justice, and that will turn the tide against the evil. We need light in the darkness, absolutely. What do you make of these pushes? Why do you think they don't want us investigating Sandy Hook? Why do you think they've gone to the investigators' homes, criminal investigators, law enforcement investigators, and threatened them? Law enforcement retired people that are investigating this are being threatened at their homes by the feds.
The darkness, anyone who walks in the darkness always shuns the light because they know that their deeds will be made manifest.
Well, I know this. I hear you, brother. Thank you for the call. They do not want Sandy Hook investigated, and I just can't believe how bold it is if what some people are saying is true. And I've been massively criticized for, not going with the whole thing being staged, in the first year or so. But let's go back to that article by Don Salazar. I mean, you've got undoubtedly the biggest, Wolfgang Halbig, former state police officer, former customs officer. He then, over the next 20 years, became the biggest school safety trainer in the country, to major colleges, you name it. I mean, he's the guy. And he just said, where are the helicopters being launched for the kids? Where's the ambulances? Where the whole thing was disregarded, and then they wouldn't let him into anything and acted very suspicious. Then they came to his house and threatened him. We need to get him back on. The answer to this censorship is we're just going to redouble our efforts investigating Sandy Hook. I got a rule, man. You try to shut me down, I can be totally exhausted, and some stalker does something to me, or somebody does a dirty trick to my family, and I just suddenly have incredible energy and I'm more creative and more hard fighting I've ever been. That's just the human spirit. Everybody's got that. Instead of giving in when somebody attacks you, use that to get angry. I mean, I'm as nice as pumpkin pie till somebody, comes over and punches me upside the head, and then, Katie, bar the door because you just released a monster. And I'm telling you right now, the globalists are monsters, and it takes monsters to defeat monsters. And when I say a monster, I mean just the strength of humanity. We need to stop cowing down to these people and let them know we're not putting up with their bullying anymore. Terry in Tennessee, you're on the air. Welcome.
Yeah, how you doing, Alex? I'm calling you from the formerly free state of Tennessee. Used to be free anyway. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying the volunteer state. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay, now it's volunteered by, I guess, domestic terrorists is what I call them anyway. People want to take your rights away. Our Bill of Rights is what this country is. It's the rock that keeps this country together.
It's what we're based on.
Yes, it's the rock that formed this country, and people need to remember that. And when it comes to attacking our freedoms with the internet or anything else, we hold the upper hand on that because we hold the money. And if people just get angry, cut your internet off for a month. Take the money away from them. The businesses will straighten this out. The Congress, the politicians, they're not going to straighten it out. Corporate America will straighten it out.
Absolutely. I mean, look at where we're having victories. It's where we vote with our dollars, and our choices is where we really have the biggest effect. That's our real power. That's the vote we've still got other than the cartridge box.
Yes, and, it's time, if any time was a time, now is the time to take our country back. We have to take it back for our children, or there won't be a country for them. I'm 58 years old. I've seen too much stuff happen in my life.
Well, I agree with you, brother, but I remember hearing my grandfathers talk like that and saying, when you're a man and you got kids, it's going to come. Well, I'm a man, I got children. It's here. I don't think we have to even wait for the lives of our children for this to hit them. It's going to hit us. It's hitting us now. I mean, they're getting more tyranny in place in a year than they would get in place in a previous 10. I mean, they are moving fast, and it's because they know people are waking up.
Well, yes, people are waking up, but we have to strike back. We have to start calling our congressmen and telling them that they need to do their jobs. And if they don't, they won't have a job because there's people that can fill their shoes. And we need to quit electing people because of the way they look and how rich they are, because they're not in contact with us. And that needs to stop.
That's right. We need to find the people that have been elected locally that are honorable and have done a good job, We need to support them, and we need to run for office ourselves. You're absolutely right. God bless you. We're going to come back with Brian and Ben, Brendan, AD, and others.
Hunters, anglers, campers, and survivalists. Get back to...
Just like there have been 6 or 7 movies called Titanic, you can't copyright a title. But they're trying to do it. And this is part of the attack on free speech worldwide, ladies and gentlemen. We're taking your phone calls on this subject. I'll shift gears into some others coming up after we talk to more of the callers and have some of the folks in here, David Knight and, of course, Rob Dew of InfoWars Nightly News, who have hosted Sandy Hook debates with so-called debunkers of the official story and debunkers of the debunkers. So for holding a debate in America and showing both sides, we now need to be taken off the air for the children. Isn't that just precious? This is how totalitarianism comes. Always packaged for the children. Brian in Alabama, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Hey, Alex, really pleasure to be on. I do want to say that I was a part of one of those groups who did give you a lot of criticism on Sandy Hook because of what we blatantly saw, that we just couldn't understand how you couldn't see them either.
Is there a vacuum cleaner going in the background?
I'm sorry, that is actually my FM transmitter rebroadcasting your broadcast.
Ooh, that's awesome. So you got a micro pirate or something?
I don't call.
I know. It's a micro or a citizen broadcasting rig, but then the general public doesn't know what that means. So I say a micro pirate so that they understand the new term micro is what a pirate is, and then we can elaborate on the fact that it's not interfering with commercial broadcasts and the airwaves belong to the people. But listen, so you are a First Amendment crusader. I love the fact that every caller today is engaged in some type of media operation, Brian.
Yes, I'm also involved with Independent Media Solidarity, the group that put out the documentary We Need to Talk About Sandy Hook, which was brought about from another group known as the Max Resistance Roundtable, also over at Max Resistance.
Well, absolutely. Before we could even investigate it, there were videos with tens of millions of views bringing up the anomalies. There's been a real move to shut those folks down. What do you think of us being censored? What's been happening to you?
I can tell you lots about Lenny. This man is something that you've never seen before. He's got a group of trolls, and if you don't mind, I'll just go ahead and call them out. These people would be keep.
Well, listen, hold on. I don't want to give these people any attention. I'm going to have to get with lawyers on this and deal with this. But I understand that, if they're trying to shut us down when we're just investigating it and looking at all sides, it must be horrible for folks out there that vehemently think this is staged. So just specifically, what have you gone through?
I can't even put up a video showing that he has put up a copyright strike against me without him copywriting striking that. They have taken my information and they gave it to one of his trolls in his network, and they went and they looked up all my information and put up a whole blog post about me and my daughter. Is what this troll network has done. These people are vile. And Lanny, if you're listening, your day is coming, my friend. It is coming.
Wow. This sounds like a war's going on. I think they made a major mistake involving us, because we were basically showing both sides and getting criticized by both groups for it.
Oh, I totally agree. They don't know what they bit off. Go after them, Alex. Crush them.
Well, I just wanted to leave the First Amendment alone. But it does show that how would they claim it's a Fox News copyright violation? There's no Fox News on there. It's a news article. How do you do that? It's amazing.
They have two different email addresses they used. I noticed you said that for this claim they used the honor@gmail. The other one that they use, I won't say it, but I'll tell you off air if you want to know what that one is off air.
Well, I'm not somebody to mess with, and I understand that they can, use children and whatever, and then, say the First Amendment's bad. But, I got to defend the First Amendment, and it's just wild to get into this subject. We got all this stuff happening worldwide, all these moves against the First Amendment going on. It's pretty hardcore. So we're going to have our news director in here with our news anchor to talk about this because they're trying to shut us down.
We're on the